From this day forward, we declare the land north of the Pascagoula Swamps, south of Enterprise, and east of the Pearl River to the Alabama border to be a free state of Jones.
I read the script and it was so epic, and I thought it was such a powerful story, and Gary had written it in such a visceral way, and I thought, wow, this is these events really happened. You know, I didn't know that there were, you know, escaped slaves and poor white farmers uniting together for a rebellion in the South and creating their own, you know, free state. I mean, that was so inspiring, so pioneering for the time. You know, this relationship between Newt and Rachel, you know, how they fell in love, they had a baby, they lived on the same farm together. And, you know, the fact that he deeded her 160 acres of land, which made her, you know, one of the few landowning women, probably one of the only landowning women of color of the period. So for me, it was such an inspiring story about the struggle for freedom and really how freedom has to be demanded. It's not just granted.
Brought you something.
You got one.
Yeah.
I think for me, being a Brit and, you know, not necessarily studying the Civil War at school, you know, I was starting at square one, but it was great because Gary Ross, the writer-director, had been working on this project for over 10 years. He had access to, you know, incredibly established and highly esteemed professors at Harvard, you know, that I was able to speak to. I also went to Mississippi and went to Jones County itself, visited Ellisville, visited the grave site of Newt and Rachel, where they're buried in the same graveyard, very close to each other. I also was able to read, you know, whatever I could. I read slave narratives by, you know, Frederick Douglass, Harriet Jacobs, absorbed whatever documentaries I could on the period, and also, you know, to be able to work with a dialect coach as well on the accent for Mississippi. So there was so much to draw upon, and I think, you know, just shooting in that location, especially when we were out in the remote swamps, it's very easy to believe you are back in time. There's no evidence of modern life around you. It's trees and wildlife, and you know, we had these wonderful costumes which didn't really feel like costumes because a lot of them were period clothes of the time, you know, so that sort of gave everything a sort of more authentic edge to it, which was really helpful.